What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to give you guys my X factors for today's game between our Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned, in today's game, I do want to give you guys my offensive X factor and my defensive X factor for today's game against the Seattle Seahawks. So first off, on offense, the X factor to me in this game is going to be Cordero Patterson, my running back. I do think being that we're playing in Seattle, and we know that Seattle is one of the toughest stadiums to play in due to the rabid fan base there in Seattle. I do think that the 12s are going to be very loud today, as always. And it's going to be hard for our offensive line to hit a snap count. It's going to be hard for the quarterback to communicate to the running backs and wide receivers. So I think it's very important that the Falcons take this crowd out of the game early. I believe the Falcons need to jump out to a lead in this game and control the tempo of this game. And the way that you do that is running the ball with Cordero Patterson. We didn't run the ball great last week against the LA Rams, but I definitely think that the Seattle Seahawks are a rebuilding team. They're a very young team, just like our Atlanta Falcons. And I think that Cordero Patterson and this offensive line, they should be able to run the ball well today against the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks defense has taken a couple steps back due to them losing their leader of their defense, Bobby Wagner, who now plays for the LA Rams. So I definitely think in this game, Cordero Patterson has a mismatch against the linebackers, Jordan Brooks, that plays for the Seahawks. I think that Cordero Patterson has the upper hand in the passing game with him catching passes out of the backfield, and I think that Cordero Patterson should be able to run the ball today a lot better than we did against the LA Rams. Of course, that features Aaron Donald in that vaunted defense there in LA. So with that being said, run the football in this game. I think Cordero Patterson gets over 100 yards rushing. If he doesn't eclipse 100 yards rushing, I definitely think between him and Tyler Algier, I think with those guys total, they'll get over 100 yards rushing in this game. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, I think the X factor in this game is star cornerback A.J. Terrell. In this matchup, you do have DK Metcalf, who's one of the best younger wide receivers in the game, a physical specimen, and you have Tyler Lockett. I think that Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are one of the better duos in the NFL. Even though they play in Seattle and they don't get a lot of pub, they're not a duo that gets talked about a whole lot because Seattle hasn't won a lot of games. They didn't win a lot of games last year. I do think that DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are an underrated duo. I do think that they're a top 5 wide receiver duo in the NFL. So AJ Terrell is going to be the guy on defense that I'm looking to in this game to have a big game. AJ Terrell has struggled a little bit for the first 2 weeks. Mainly, I think it's due to scheme, playing against guys like Cooper Kupp, where their offensive coordinator, Sean McVay, knows how to get those guys open, and him playing against Michael Thomas in the first week. Both of those guys pretty much had their way against AJ Terrell in the first 2 weeks. But I think in today's game, AJ Terrell bounced back. I could easily see him making a big play in this game, maybe coming away with a couple tackles for loss in the running game because AJ Terrell is a willing tackler. And I could easily see him having an interception in this game as well. Geno Smith is a veteran quarterback that's been around for a very long time, but he's been a journeyman backup for the most part of his career. So I definitely think in this game, we're going to need AJ Terrell to step up. And I'm sure that he's going to have to face DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett because he doesn't travel. AJ Terrell is not a corner that Dean Pease usually has travel. He stays on one side of the field. I'm sure we're going to see him matched up against both DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, two of the better wide receivers in the NFL. So I expect AJ Terrell to exceed our expectations as always. Like I said, AJ Terrell still is one of the better corners in the NFL, a top 5 corner in the games at this point. So I definitely expect him to make big plays in this game. I think one of the biggest things that makes AJ Terrell one of the better corners is, as an NFL corner, you have to have amnesia. You have to be a guy that when somebody makes a play on you, you can't harp on that play, but you have to move on to the next play. And I think AJ Terrell does a great job of being one of those guys that understands to be a great corner in the NFL. You can't harp on previous games. You can't harp on the last play, but you have to move on to the next play. So I definitely expect AJ Terrell in this game to bounce back, and I expect him to have a big game going up against DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. But with that being said, you guys let me know what you think of the video. Let me know who your X factors are for today's game. But like I said, on offense, I'm going with Cordell Patterson, aka Flash, on offense, and on defense, I'm going with our star cornerback, AJ Terrell. I think both of those guys have big games today, and I think that the Falcons get their first win of the season. But with that being said, this being your boy Jew, I'll holler at you guys in the next video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. Peace. Let's get this W.